This intentional inexistence is characteristic exclusively of mental phenomena. No physical phenomena exhibits anything like it. We can therefore define mental phenomena by saying that they are those phenomena which contain an object intentionally within themselves. But here too we come upon controversies and contradiction. Hamilton in particular denies this characteristic to a whole broad class of mental phenomena, namely to all those which he characterizes as feelings, to pleasure and pain in all their most diverse shades and varieties. With respect to the phenomena of thought and desire, he is in agreement with us. Obviously, there is no act of thinking without an object that is thought, nor desire without an object that is desired. He writes, in the phenomena of feeling, the phenomena of pleasure and pain, on the contrary, consciousness does not place the mental modification or state before itself. It does not contemplate it apart, as separate from itself, but is, as it were, fused into one. This peculiarity of feeling, therefore, is that there is nothing but what is subjectively subjective. There is no object different from the self, no objectification of any mode of self. Close quote. In the first instance, there would be something which, according to Hamilton's terminology, is objective. In the second instance, something which is objectively subjective, as in self-awareness, the object of which Hamilton consequently calls the subject-object. By denying both concerning feelings, Hamilton rejects unequivocally all intentional inexistence of these phenomena. In reality, what Hamilton says is not entirely correct, since certain feelings undeniably refer to objects. Our language itself indicates this through the expressions it employs. We say that we are pleased with or about something, that we feel sorrow or grieve about something. Likewise, we say, that pleases me, that hurts me, that makes me feel sorry, etc. Joy and sorrow, like affirmation and negation, love and hate, desire and aversion, clearly follow upon a presentation and are related to that which is presented. One of the most inclined to agree with Hamilton in those cases in which, as we saw earlier, it is most easy to fall into the error that feeling is not based upon any presentation, the case of pain caused by a cut or a burn, for example. But the reason is simply the same temptation toward this, as we have seen, erroneous assumption. Even Hamilton recognizes with us the fact that presentations occur without expectation, and thus even here they form the basis of the feeling. Thus his denial that feelings have an object seems all the more striking. One thing certainly has to be admitted, the object to which a feeling refers is not always an external object. Even in cases when I hear a harmonious sound, the pleasure that I feel is not actually pleasure in the sound, but pleasure in the hearing. In fact, you could say, not incorrectly, that in a certain sense it even refers to, and this introduces more or less what Hamilton was talking about, namely, the feeling and the object are fused into one. But this is nothing that is not true in the same way of many phenomena of thought and knowledge, as we will see when we come to the investigation of inner consciousness. Still, they retain a mental and a subject-object, to use Hamilton's mode of speech. And the same thing is true of these feelings. Hamilton is wrong when he says that with regard to feelings, everything is subjectively subjective. An expression which actually, of course, is self-contradictory, for where you cannot speak of an object, you cannot speak of a subject either. Also, Hamilton spoke of a fusing into one of the feeling with mental impression, but when carefully considered, it can be seen that he's bearing witness against himself here. Every fusion is a unification of several things, and thus the pictorial expressions, which is intended to make us concretely aware of the distinctive character of feeling, still points to a certain duality in the unity. We may therefore consider the intentional inexistence of an object to be a general characteristic of mental phenomena which distinguishes this class of phenomena from the class of physical phenomena. Another characteristic, 6, another characteristic which all mental phenomena have in common is the fact that they are only perceived in inner consciousness, while in the case of physical phenomena, only external perception is possible. This distinguishing characteristic is emphasized by Hamilton. It could be argued that such a definition is not meaningful. In fact, it seems much more natural to define the act according to the object, and therefore to state that inner perception, in contrast to every other kind, is the perception of mental phenomena. However, besides the fact it has a special object, inner perception possesses another distinguishing characteristic. It's immediate, infallible self-evidence. Of all the types of knowledge, of the objects of experience, inner perception alone possesses this characteristic. Consequently, when we say that mental phenomena are those which are apprehended by a means of inner perception, we say that their perception is immediately evident. Moreover, inner perception is not merely the only kind of perception which is immediately evident. It is really the only perception in the strict sense of the word. As we have seen, the phenomena of the so-called external perception cannot be proved true and real, even by means of indirect demonstration. For this reason, anyone who in good faith has taken them for what they seem to be is being misled by the manner in which the phenomena are connected. Therefore, strictly speaking, so-called external perception is not perception. Mental phenomena, therefore, may be described as the only phenomena of which perception, in the strict sense of the word, is possible. This definition, too, is an inadequate characterization of mental phenomena. That is not to say that all mental phenomena are internally perceivable by all men or women, and so all those which someone cannot perceive are to be included by him or her among physical phenomena. On the contrary, as we have already expressly noted above, it is obvious that no mental phenomena is perceived by more than one individual. At the same time, however, we also saw that every type of mental phenomena is present in every fully developed human mental life. For this reason, the reference to the phenomena which constitute the realm of inner perception serves our purpose satisfactorily. And that is where we'll end off for today. Next time, we left off on 6, so we still have 7 and the rest to go. And again, Franz Brentano, Mental and Physical Phenomena. Thank you.